It was a bustling afternoon at Tony's Deli, a popular spot in the heart of the city. The clatter of dishes and the chatter of hungry customers filled the air. Among the patrons was Mrs. Thompson, an elderly woman known for her warm smile and gentle spirit. She had come to the restaurant that day, hoping to treat herself to her favorite soup. However, as she reached the counter, her face fell when she realized she didn't have enough money to pay for her meal. The cashier, a young man with a stern expression, shook his head and told her he couldn't serve her without full payment. Embarrassed, Mrs. Thompson's cheeks flushed as she turned away from the counter. She felt small and forgotten in a place that usually brought her joy. Other diners glanced over, sensing the tension but unsure of how to intervene. Just then, Jason Statham walked into the deli, his tall frame and confident stride drawing immediate attention. He had just finished filming nearby and decided to grab a quick bite. As he made his way to the front of the line, he noticed Mrs. Thompson's distress. His eyes narrowed with concern as he learned what had happened. Little did anyone know, this moment would soon turn into something far more remarkable than just a simple meal denied. As the door swung open, a gust of cool air followed Jason Statham into Tony's Deli, instantly cutting through the warm aroma of freshly baked bread and simmering soup. Tall and athletic, he moved with an effortless grace, capturing the attention of every diner in the room. He had just wrapped up filming down the street and decided to stop by for a quick meal before heading home. As he made his way to the front of the line, Jason scanned the room, soaking in the atmosphere filled with laughter and chatter. But his gaze soon landed on Mrs. Thompson, who was trying to hold back tears as she gazed longingly at the counter where her favorite soup awaited. Concern washed over him as he noticed the young cashier's refusal to serve her. With a furrowed brow, Jason approached the counter, his heart aching for the elderly lady who seemed so alone in her moment of need. He quickly caught the attention of the cashier and asked what was going on. The surrounding diners paused their conversations, intrigued by the sight of the action star stepping in to understand the situation. What began as a simple visit to grab a bite was about to unfold into a powerful moment of compassion that would resonate with everyone present. As Jason leaned in to talk to the cashier, a hush fell over the restaurant. Diners who had been busy chatting and enjoying their meals now turned their attention to the unfolding scene. Whispers spread through the crowd as they recognized the action star, their eyes wide with surprise and curiosity. Some pulled out their phones, ready to capture this unexpected encounter. In one corner of the deli, a young couple exchanged excited glances, eager to witness how Jason would handle the situation. "Can you believe he's here?" one of them whispered, barely able to contain their excitement. Meanwhile, an older gentleman seated at the counter shook his head in disbelief. "That's just like him," he murmured. "He always seems ready to help others." Mrs. Thompson sat quietly, feeling a mix of embarrassment and hope as she caught glimpses of Jason's concerned expression. The atmosphere shifted from one of tension to one filled with anticipation. Diners leaned in closer, drawn by a sense of shared humanity. As Jason continued to speak with the cashier, soft murmurs of support rippled through the crowd. "Someone should help her," a voice said softly from the back. It was evident that everyone wanted to see justice done for Mrs. Thompson, and they admired Statham more than ever for stepping up in this moment of need. With a determined expression, Jason turned back to the cashier, who looked a bit nervous under the scrutiny of the diners. "What seems to be the problem?" he asked, his voice calm yet firm. The young man explained that Mrs. Thompson didn't have enough money for her meal, and there was nothing he could do. Jason's heart went out to the elderly woman, and without skipping a beat, he pulled out his wallet. "Let me take care of it," he said, effortlessly pulling out cash that would cover not just Mrs. Thompson's soup but also her drink and dessert. The cashier's eyes widened in surprise as he accepted the payment, clearly taken aback by the actor's generous offer. The crowd erupted in soft applause, their admiration for both Jason's kindness and Mrs. Thompson's relief palpable in the air. Jason then turned to Mrs. Thompson with a warm smile. "You deserve a nice meal today," he said gently. Tears shone in her eyes as she stammered her thanks, overwhelmed by his unexpected support. As she moved to order her soup, the atmosphere in the deli transformed completely, laughter and smiles replaced the earlier tension. Patrons exchanged cheerful comments about Statham's character, united in this moment of goodwill sparked by one simple act of compassion. As Mrs. Thompson approached the counter, her heart swelled with gratitude, but also with disbelief. Jason had not only paid for her meal but had also brightened her day in a way she never expected. The cashier, still in shock, handed over the steaming bowl of soup along with a warm bread roll and a drink. "Here you go, Mrs. Thompson," Jason said, his voice kind and reassuring. "Enjoy your meal." He gestured for her to take a seat at a cozy table near the window, where the sunlight poured in and illuminated the room. The other diners watched as she settled into her chair, a radiant smile breaking across her face. It was as if the entire atmosphere of the deli had shifted, laughter erupted, and many began to applaud again, this time for Mrs. Thompson herself. Some patrons even stood up to cheer, their faces beaming with joy at witnessing such kindness. "You're amazing," one young woman shouted from across the room, echoing the sentiments of many others. Jason simply smiled and waved, showing that he was just glad to help. In that moment, he became more than just an actor to those present, he was a symbol of compassion and generosity. As Mrs. Thompson savored her soup, she felt not only nourished but also uplifted by the kindness surrounding her that day. The impact of Jason Statham's kindness began to resonate beyond just Mrs. Thompson and the other diners. The restaurant staff, initially caught off guard by the unfolding scene, found themselves inspired by his generous act. The young cashier, who had felt the weight of denying Mrs. Thompson, now looked relieved and uplifted. With a smile on his face, he eagerly offered the elderly woman a complimentary dessert as well, wanting to contribute to the warmth in the deli. The manager, observing from the back, was moved by the show of support from both the patrons and his employees. This event sparked an idea. He decided to implement a Helping Hand program at Tony's Deli, where customers could donate a small amount to pay for someone else's meal in need. He felt a wave of gratitude for Jason's presence. It was more than just a celebrity sighting, it was a reminder of compassion that everyone should strive for. As the atmosphere filled with warmth and laughter, other staff members joined in on the celebration. They started offering free bread rolls to all customers in honor of the moment. The deli felt more like a community than ever before, and all thanks to one act of kindness that pushed everyone, from staff to customers, to reflect on how they could make a difference in someone else's day. It transformed not only the ambience but also set a powerful example of empathy and generosity. News of Jason Statham's generous act quickly spread beyond the walls of Tony's Deli. Local social media feeds lit up with posts, photos, and videos of the incident, drawing the attention of people in the neighborhood and even those from surrounding areas. Hashtags like #kindness@Tony's began trending, sparking a wave of positive responses from the community. Many residents shared their own stories of kindness and compassion, inspired by Jason's act. They praised not only the actor for his generosity but also Mrs. Thompson for her grace in a difficult situation. This event triggered conversations around supporting local elderly residents more actively, prompting many to come together in planning community events like Soup Sundays, where anyone could enjoy a warm meal regardless of their financial situation. Local businesses also joined the movement, offering discounts to seniors or donating meals to those in need. A nearby bakery even announced that they would provide free bread to any elderly patron visiting Tony's Deli, hoping to keep the spirit of kindness alive. The deli became a meeting place for discussions on how to foster empathy and community spirit. The atmosphere shifted from one of isolation to one of connection. People who had previously passed each other on the street began to engage, united by a shared commitment to uplift one another. This single moment of kindness had ignited a broader movement, encouraging everyone to reflect on how they could contribute positively to their community. The ripple effects of Jason Statham's simple act of kindness at Tony's Deli serve as a powerful reminder of the impact one person can have on a community. What began as a moment of compassion for an elderly woman turned into a movement that ignited conversations about empathy, generosity, and the importance of looking out for one another. As more people engaged with the spirit of giving, it became clear that kindness was not just a fleeting gesture, it was a value that could shape communities for the better. The initiative for Soup Sundays not only provided meals for those in need but also created an opportunity for neighbors to connect and share stories, fostering relationships that had long been absent in their busy lives. Local businesses rallied together to support this newfound sense of community, proving that when kindness spreads, it can transform not just individuals but entire neighborhoods. The deli became more than just a place for food, it evolved into a gathering spot where people could share laughter, support each other, and celebrate humanity. In reflecting on this experience, everyone involved realized that compassion is contagious. Whether through small gestures or larger initiatives, each person has the power to uplift others and create a positive change. Jason Statham's intervention taught them that kindness is an essential ingredient in building a thriving community, encouraging each person to carry that lesson forward into their daily lives.